My next guest is a blogger who went viral recently for reasons not particularly pleasant. We'll be getting into that in the course of our conversation. Blessing Okoro is here with me. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Your blog is called Break or Makeup.
Yeah, Break or Makeup.
Why that name?
It's a relationship platform. So when I got that, I was trying to explain to the public that it's in your hands to either break up or make up. That's what spread about.
How did that start? How did blogging become a thing for you?
From my past experience, I didn't have a very good relationship. So when I got out of the bad relationship, it was a domestic violent relationship. So I understood that while I was there all through, I couldn't talk to anybody. I was dying of depression. So when I came out, I was like, okay, fine. Let me do something where people can be able to express themselves. Sometimes talking to people does not really mean they might give you a solution, but it helps you ease the pain, knowing quite already that somebody else is also going through what you're going through and they survived. So that was the reason why I had to do that.
And how long has this blog been on for?
3 years.
Interesting. So this relationship you're talking about now, wasn't your marriage or it's just a relationship?
It was a marriage. I was married before.
When did you get married?
I got married 2009.
How old? You were about what, 18, 19?
I was between 18, 19.
Why? I mean, you're an adult at 18, of course, but I'm just saying, why that early?
I was in love, you know, that youthful exuberance. You see somebody you like, he was quite more advanced than me. And as a young girl, you know, we have this telemundo perception. So I didn't even know what marriage was about. But when he said he wanted to marry me, I felt, okay, I love him. Let me just get married to him. And he was really, really, you know, he gave me everything, made sure I was comfortable. So I felt, oh, if he could do all this for me. He was practically paying my fees. My parents were paying my fees, but I was collecting money from him. So he was comfortable. So I felt, okay, he could take care of me. So I decided to just...
How did your family feel about
it? They refused, but I had to. I even threatened that I was going to kill myself or get pregnant if they don't allow me to get married to him. So they said, okay, instead of bring that shame, why not go and marry in honor? Let's know that, okay, the guy married you.
Were you in school at the time?
Yes, I was in school. I was in my...
Was he in school as well?
No, he was a banker.
Okay.
It was done with school. He was already working, but I was in school. My first year going to second year.
Okay. So at what point in the marriage did you realize that, you know, things were going left? Let me use that word.
You know, when the abuse got so much, at some point...
What do you mean by abuse now?
Beating, verbal abuse, you know, a lot of it happened. So at some point I was like, I can't do this anymore because I had to endure. And at that point, because I wasn't in good terms with my parents, there was nobody for me to relate to. So I had to endure everything at a very young age. So at some point I told myself, I can't keep doing this. I had to go back. You know, I decided to take a walk, just wake up. And then I had the carryover, school wasn't going, nothing was going on well. So I needed to like focus. Either I finished school, the marriage wasn't working, and I just put to bed as of then. It wasn't working, the child wasn't well taken care of. So my life was, I said, okay, let me just go and fix myself before I just decided. I woke up one morning and just decided to take a walk.
Most people say it's usually hard to walk out of a relationship that's quote unquote violent because you're afraid of repercussions, how the violent person might take it, will they let you go? How did that happen? You saying I'm done. How easy was it for you to?
It was tough. I'm not going to tell you guys lies. It took me a long while before I could make that decision. But I told myself I had a lot to offer because he was so violent. He always tell me that I can't do anything without him. I'm the kind of person that when you throw challenges at me, I want to like prove to you that I can do this stuff. Every time he says, without me, you can't survive. Without me, you end up a prostitute. Without me, you end up this. So at some point when I gave birth and the whole thing wasn't still working, I told myself, damn every consequences, let me go and take my chances. Because unfortunately, I started dating him at a very young age. So I never had that opportunity of exploring. I never dated any other person apart from him for like 5, 6 years. Because we dated for about 3, 4 years before I got married to him. So I needed to explore. It was as if he took away my youth. So I didn't know what it was to explore. So I was eager. And at that point, he wanted me to start tying wrapper, wearing suits. You know how young I was. So I think I was stubborn because of my age. So he couldn't condone those, you know, the youthful exuberance now. So I think that was the problem. He wanted me to be these. Like sometimes I remember he would tell me to come up to his level. I'll tell him, no, you come down to my level because I'm still...
How much older than you was he?
He was 10 years older than me.
And you said you dated for 3 years?
Yeah.
So you dated this name at 15 is what you're saying?
Yeah, 15, 14.
Wow. I'm sorry about that.
That was young, yes I know, but... It happened somehow. You know, as a young girl, you saw this guy that was taking care of you.
Did he know how old you were?
He knew how old I was. He knew. But, you know, then we were quite a little bit, because he met me in my mom's store in Enugu State. I used to manage my mom. So that was where he met me. So we got talking. I was actually excited to see someone that was a bit more exposed than me. He taught me some few stuffs. So I was excited that I wasn't dating the normal young, you know, guy.
Do you think, looking back now, besides even the violence, you know, have you ever had a conversation with him with regards to how young you were? and
No.
how wrong that might have been?
No, because we loved each other. I didn't see it as anything wrong. It was love. He didn't force me. We just saw each other. We liked
But you
each
were
other. We
minor.
started talking. Yeah. Before we even started doing anything, he was in Port Harcourt. I was in Enugu. We were just talking on the phone for like a year before we met again. So it wasn't as if we met and started. No, we talked. You know that time you could do midnight calls. We spoke for a long while before he decided to come to Enugu to come and see me. And from there, that was when we started.
Do you regret that time in your life?
No. It made me who I am. It gave me a voice. That's why people want to interact with me. The experience even made me more powerful. So no, I did not.
But I asked that because, I mean, you seem like there's a lot from there. I mean, there are lessons you learn, but it also seemed like it was a time maybe you shouldn't have embarked on, looking at, the violence that came with it. You have a child, I believe.
Yeah.
One child?
Yes. I have
How old is
two.
the child? You have two kids?
Yeah, my first son is 8. My second son is 2 years.
From the marriage?
No, just one from the marriage.
Okay, one from the marriage.
Yeah.
At what point, because I mean, why I asked about regret as well is if you don't regret something, most times you let it go and you move on, you take the lessons and go. But it feels like you held on to it, which is what brings us to our next conversation now, which has made you sort of, which made you sort of this national conversation.
Okay, fine.
Why did you feel the need to get back? Let me just lay a groundwork for those who don't know. I mean, we saw pictures online on a popular blog where you posed in front of a building, a duplex, saying, "Oh, you had completed this building. It was a way of celebrating your 30th birthday. Thanks to God for bringing you this fun." A few days later, we heard stories that it wasn't your building, that someone else owned this house and he had just taken a random picture in this person's house, ended up with you on handcuffs a few days later and almost getting arrested, blah, blah, blah. And you said you did that because you wanted to show your ex-husband that you were doing well. If you had moved on, why did you still feel the need to do that?
No, I think the media contradicted the whole thing.
Okay.
A lot of times I tell stories, like that was how the very first time I told a story, and what made me a bit famous was because I came out publicly to tell the world that I used to be married. There was a time somebody killed his wife, domestic violence. So I wrote my story, it went viral, where I was saying I was happy, I passed through this stuff and all this stuff. I always use my ex as an emphasis because he's the only story I have. I didn't have the opportunity of dating people to say, okay, so he's always in my story. I cannot say a word without him because my youth, my marriage life, my childbearing life, it was just him. So it's like a circle. And it's not like I go back there, but when he sees me like a little girl, I can't achieve anything apart from him being there. So sometimes I'm always using like an emphasis, okay, I did this with or without you, because I know he's watching. So about the building. Do I need to deliberate on that?
No, go on.
Okay, the building was...
Because I mean, it's a fundamental part of as I know you've explained yourself sometimes on social media, but it still doesn't make... Forgive my... it still doesn't make sense to me that you take a picture. Why? Okay. In someone else's building and say it was yours. I'm still not sure why that was a thing for you. Okay,
fine. This is exactly what happened. Taking that picture I didn't have that intention of... I'm actually building. I have a house that I'm building. So I didn't finish it. I had it like my 30th... what I wanted to give to myself. Maybe I put myself under pressure. I wanted to gift that to myself. So I couldn't meet up to that initially. So taking the picture in that house wasn't to put it on social media. I was just passing innocently because there was a stone tile I wanted to use. So I saw the side open. So I walked into the side and I'm like, oh, I like the stone tiles. I told the person there, can I take a picture? He said, no, go ahead. It was an open site. So he took a picture. He even recognized me because he had... harassed me one time, all the stouts now, when I was building. So he recognized me. It was because he recognized me, he gave me that, benefit of a doubt to go around, took pictures. He even gave me contact of those that did the stone tiles. So it was an innocent, and this picture was taken about 2 months before my birthday. So when I couldn't meet up my target, I said, okay, fine, since I'm working on that project and I'm going to do that, then I decided to use the picture innocently. I didn't know it was going to go.
But if you're lying, it's not necessarily innocent, but go on.
Yeah, okay, innocent. Maybe I told a lie. Yes, but it wasn't, I didn't mean it the way it went. So it went viral, and the so-called person who owns the house, started making emphasis about it.
So where's this house?
This house is in Enugu.
Where does your ex-husband live?
He's in Port Harcourt.
But you live in Enugu at the time when you guys were dating and all of that?
Okay, yeah, we did that.
Okay, so even if it didn't go viral, did you know, was your house going to be exactly this building?
Yes.
The exact same number of floors, same color?
No,
same...
I wanted to replicate this because what I took picture of is the frontage, which is the stone tiles that was there. And it's a duplex. So it was the stone tiles that took me there. So that was the stone tiles I was into design my own building. So hopefully when it comes up, people are going to see.
So where is this building, the one you're building?
It's also in Enugu State.
How, because we don't even know. I mean, because now this is our business. You know,
I know.
We wouldn't have cared, but now you made it our business. And
Yeah.
how do we even believe that you're actually building anything? Because it's an uncompleted building that was on the left. That was pick-stitched with the building on the right. We don't even know, because an uncompleted
Anybody
building,
that
anybody's uncompleted building.
anybody that is following me on Instagram, apart from what they see, will know. Right from when I started the foundation, I posted. It's even people that is like, stop posting your house now, wait until you finish. If you're following me on Instagram, you will know.
At what point did you know that you had probably just, screwed everything up
At the
with
point
this story?
Yeah, when I knew I screwed everything up was when I think one of the bloggers got my phone conversation when I was talking to my kid's sister. My kid's sister was like asking me, what kind of house? And I said, okay, Shebi, I'm building. I'm going to replicate this building. That was the conversation. So when they got hold of the conversation, I thought to myself, wow, this is no longer a joke. It has gotten out of hand. For people to tap into your... So they were claiming my younger sister sent it to them. But I'm like, no, it's not possible. Is that somebody that knows me tapped into... So it was no longer a joke. So I had to call my mom. I said, Mom, see you. This is what's happening. They said, one Onyeze guy said he owned the building. Mom, she said she knows the person. That the younger sister stays downstairs, just by her house. So we had to go to the younger sister to get the phone number because they were making it look as if I wanted to steal the guy's house. The picture they were painting to him wasn't just she took a picture. They're making it look as if because I was a blogger, she's going to steal your house. She wants, because at a time we started posting both plans of the house to prove. He posted his own plan. I posted my own plan.
You can't blame him.
I understand you. So that was the reason why I went to my mom, because I felt he was misunderstanding it, or he was feeling this person is a fraudster. So me going to him was to show that, Ogao, I meant no harm. So my mom saw him that morning. He was like, no problem. That they were giving him a wrong impression.
So how did the handcuffs happen?
That's what I'm coming to. So when we saw him that morning, he told me, okay, go back to the house and do something, go do a video. Because in as much as he was fighting for something, they were also insulting him. The trolls were insulting him. The trolls were insulting me. So the insult was getting to him. So he now said I should go back to the house and do something good about his name. That was when I went back to the house and went to say, okay, this house is for Onyeze. I did a video, which is on Instagram. They also carried it. Then after the video, the gate man said it's okay. He said it was fine. I went back to my house because his house, I took a picture, is like 2 minutes drive from where I live. We're on the same street. Where I am building and where he is living is like 2 minutes drive. So we are practically neighbors, both where he's living and where I'm also living. I don't know if you understand me. So when I went back home, 3 hours later, he called. No, the guy called, Darlington, which was the guy that gave me access to the house, and said, Onyeze wants to see you. Come to the house. We wanted you guys to do a video together. I'm like, okay. Because I had seen him in the morning, I didn't have anything at the back of my mind. I just wore my dress from my house, locked my kids in the house, and drove to the place. They allowed me and I sat down. Then immediately I sat down. The next thing, 3 guys came with belts, the other one with handcuffs and some weapon. So it was like a joke. I was like, I don't understand. So they told me to sit on the ground. I was still trying to talk. The guy said...
I know it's a very long story. But I can, as much as I can see your surprise at a lot of these things. I mean, we live in a country where we see things written on fences every time. Beware of fraudsters. This land belongs to so and so. This land is not for sale. So if I owned the building and I saw someone take a picture in front of the building claiming it was theirs, of course I would be worried because I'm like, are they trying to sell my building behind my back? Is there something? So I can kind of see where the agitation on his end will come from. And there's also a few things I want to clarify because, I mean, I'd also heard stories about you saying you were a police officer at some point. I don't know. Can you clarify that story also?
No, I'm not a police officer.
But did you say that at some point? You had there were claims of you saying you were a police officer at some point.
No.
Or you had something to do with the police.
Yes. There was a claim on that. And yes, I actually have connection to do with that. But it's not something I want to put up on.
Are you a police officer?
No, I'm not a police
But did you say you were at some point?
Yes, I told them I was, because when they told me, the Inspector General of Police asked them to bring me to the station. So I told them, no, it can't be the Inspector General of Police that's asking them to bring me.
Yeah.
I have some connection with the police. Okay, let me speak to the Inspector General, or let me call my people. Yeah. That was when they took the phone from me, harassed me, handcuffed me, paraded me, made me look like a criminal. And at some point, even when Onyeze came in with few of the police officers, I walked up to them and told them, okay, this is where I'm involved, this is where I work. So they were lost. The police officers themselves were lost. They were still trying to investigate and know, okay, what's the problem? What's the problem? Before, they did the whole drama.
So you said that just to get away from the issue? You said you were a police officer?
I never said I work with a police. I said I work with the police. I work with the Nigerian Police Force Pension.
Okay.
So that's where I work.
That's what you do?
Yeah.
You also said you have a G-Wagon, Brabus. Do you have a G-Wagon?
I don't want to say that on national TV, so I don't have to probe into my personal life.
I mean, you're already building a house, so you might as well. And you've made your business our business.
I don't want to.
I ask this because there's a reputation question around your name now.
Let time tell. Maybe over
and
time.
It's something they say in Nigeria, you say you use your hand, do yourself. You know.
Yeah.
And I think it's opportunities like this that you need to clarify these things.
Yes, I do have, but at this point, there's nothing you say that's going to hold water. It's what they see. So over time, if they feel you don't have or you have, let it tell. Because whether I say I don't have, they not get to tell you, stand in front of it, snap in front of it. And the more you keep doing that, you're indicting yourself. Yeah. I work somewhere, people are watching you, how can you, I'm putting myself into trouble.
How has all of this affected your career, your blog? Of course, your reputation is a whole other conversation, but how has it affected your business?
Yeah, negativity is something that is a very strong one. It has affected it, but like this.
Was it intentional?
This whole thing?
A lot of it, yeah.
A lot of it wasn't intentional.
Because we live in an era of people wanting to go viral. So there's a lot of people who believe you did this on purpose just because you wanted the buzz.
Initially, I was enjoying the publicity because I wasn't doing anything bad. It wasn't on bad intention. So the publicity, and on social media, they always want one drama or the other. But it was when the handcuff came into the picture, and that was when it went.
So up until there, you were just riding the wave?
Yeah, but initially I was just enjoying myself. But when the handcuff came into the whole thing, and at some point, the public, because the handcuff have come into it, it was no longer a joke. You can't tell anybody that they handcuffed you, and there was some police officer there, and it's a joke. No, it was no longer a joke. So he himself went to the extreme. And I also, took it, after the whole thing, I also went back to the police to report. And the law also took its course. And at the end of the day, everybody apologized for. He apologized for overreacting, apologized for taking a picture in his house, which he was saying, if I had come to tell him, it wouldn't have been this bad. I told him, sir, if I had that intention, probably I would have come to tell you, because I had people that have houses. I could still say, okay, guy, I won't use your house. But that wasn't the intention. Because if that was the intention, I would plan it very well now. So it was never the intention, just an innocent act I did thinking I was.
So where's your ex-husband in all of this now? I mean, he was sort of the reason for all of this. Have you heard from him?
The reason why
the point is completely lost now.
The reason why people picked on my ex-husband was because I said 8 years ago, he threw me out. 8 years ago, I took the stones that he threw at me to build the house. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I talk a lot about him. I always use him like an emphasis. He's like my story. For every story I want to tell, he is my ex-husband must be involved because he's part of the story. He was the one that gave me that experience, the break of makeup. It was what he did, the experience that made me. So I hardly tell a story without getting him involved. Not because I hate him, not because it's a competition, but it's just like an example, like history. You always bring back, past experience and all that stuff.
Now you have, I believe, all your social media accounts are combined close to 700,000 followers. You have a blog. These are people that you can reach. And there's been a conversation that's been going on for endless number of years now about social media and the need to fake it till you make it. And your story, more than anything else, seems to be the story of how people try to fake it till they make it,
Okay.
And do you feel any responsibility to be better? Because there's no guarantee that, I don't know how many more followers you got in this last month or two. It becomes a drug. You say, maybe if I do this, I can get 100,000 more, Mm-hmm. There's no guarantee that you won't do that again. So, what are there any lessons in there for you at all?
Yes, there was a lesson, number one.
Did you think what you did was wrong?
Yes, I lied.
Because you keep saying innocently.
I'm trying to put that for those that, I want people to see it from my own perspective. What I did was wrong because I lied. When I say innocent, people don't see your intention, they see your action. So my action was wrong, taking a picture in somebody's house and making it look like your own. It's wrong. I lied. But it wasn't the fake it till you make it because I think I'm okay. I'm comfortable the way I am. I'm successful the way I am because I'm doing well for myself. It wasn't the fake it. Maybe I was just being faster than my shadow, or I was anxious to want to put out something out there, or I wanted something that was going to go viral. On social media is when you put out these things out there, that's when bloggers get to carry it. Maybe that was the excitement. So, but I'm not encouraging anybody to do that because you can be charged for trespass. You can be charged for any other thing. Maybe I was lucky. If the guy had done anything to me, believe you me, anyhow, I would have gone in for it. It's just that unfortunately on that day he did that wasn't the day I took the picture. Maybe that was why the law was able to, but naturally it's the wrong thing to do, and I don't urge anybody to take that step. It was a mistake on my part, and I hope I've learned my lesson.
Thank you very much, Blessing Okoro. Good luck with everything. Please stay out of trouble.
Sure.
Please.
I will.
Thanks for being here today.
All right, Ibuka, nice to meet you.